yeah, it is a 10 days tour in the south of Spain. I was born in Malaga, but my base is now Madrid since many years ago. I'm going to focus not in the entire tour, but in a couple of UNESCO sites that we are visiting in the tour. Obviously, I'm pretty sure that you have heard of the Alhambra Palace. Okay, the Alhambra Palace is located in the city of Granada, which is exactly where we are starting our tour. So, have a look at this photo. Let me see if I can somehow go in a way. Hold on a second, please. Let's see if I can just. No, for some reason, there's no, my photos are not going down. Why is that? Hold on. Give me a sec. As Margaret said before, we are tour guides, and our presentation here is. Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Here we are. Okay. Oh, sorry. Did you see the photo of me just boarding a plane? Okay, so I'm inviting you to come with me and just see this beautiful complex. That complex, as I told you, is in the city of Granada, which is where the tour starts. Okay, so the very first day after the introduction meeting and the welcoming meeting, etc., we're gonna walk up the hill of Albaicin. The city of Granada is composed of three hills: the Alhambra, which is what you see in the screen right now, and well, the translation in Arabic is the red color. So that's why the bricks that were used gives name to the complex itself. Albaicin is the viewpoint where I am at taking the photo. The mountains that you see at the back are the Sierra Nevada mountains, the original Sierra Nevadas, as I always say in my tours, and they are located in the south of Spain. It's very, very close to the Mediterranean. Actually, on a straight line, I believe it's no more than 60 miles. So it snowed in winter. So it is very cold in Granada, although it is in the south of the Iberian Peninsula and the sun in Spain is shining most of the days. Down there, it is can get below zero, below the freezing point. Okay, so that is the viewpoint that we will see when we climb the other hill opposite that one, Albaicin, that is the name. And just give me a second. Here it is. This is a sunset that, if we are lucky, we can see. It depends a little bit on the timing as well, and also in the weather conditions. And this is how the Alhambra looks like. And just to justify and testify on my hand that is true, that's me in the restaurant. We're having dinner the night of the tour starting, and just with the Alhambra complex at the back. Okay, I have to tell you that it was in 1711 when the Arab invasion of the Iberian Peninsula began. The first structure was built for two main reasons. The first one, I could say it was the fear of invasions. And the second, to display power to their enemies. Since the river level was far above the site, they had to build an aqueduct. By taking advantage of the mountain slopes, water flowed very easily through the complex. So this is the view on the daylight that you see when you were climbing up to the Alhambra complex. And the moment you cross the walls to go into the complex, what you start seeing are fountains. Fountains everywhere. That means that there are water. But if you remember the slide I showed before, I was in the top of a hill. So how can it be either? I mean, there is no fountains there. There are no natural fountains. But the river that comes from the mountains behind the complex, the Sierra Nevada mountains, called Darro, D-A-R-R-O, what happened was that the Arabs invented a kind of a complex that there were pools after pools after pools until they got to a level that they could build an aqueduct. It was in the same level of the highest point of the Alhambra hill. So what happened was that the water was flowing naturally. So the moment that you see water, what do you see? Gardens, beautiful gardens all over the place. So it was in 1273 when Muhammad II, who was happened to be the second Arab king of the Kingdom of Granada, started constructing the complex on the ruins of the older fortress that was originally built. Again, a few years later, Muhammad III added more extensions, including new palace and a mosque inside of a citadel. The next ruler, a few years later, created what he called the Generalife Gardens. So it was another kind of palace complex just for relax, just for royal family to go there and relax and listen to the water of the music of the water, and just to admire the gardens. And also, they introduced terraced farming just to feed the growing population. A few years later, another monarch called Yusuf I built the most significant palaces of that era, and also the Arab baths. In 1362, the complex saw the construction of the most iconic palace, the Palace of the Lions, with the famous patio of the lions. Now, this is a famous courtyard that, as I said, has the same name. Look at that beautiful fountain carved in marble. And we all know that marble is a very, very porous material. So a few years ago, it took I could say like about 7 or 8 years to restore the entire fountain because the marble was just melting. I mean, just by someone scratching with a nail, it could take a piece of that beautiful piece of art. So they just invented some few methods just to compact back the marble again. Now it has a patina. The tubes inside were changed for new ones. And uh, although it's not confirmed, this fountain that has 12 lions, it was supposed to be, and this is not confirmed, there are some debates about it. It was supposed to be a clock and just orientated to the north, being 12, depending on what lion was spitting water through the mouth, that was the time of the day. But as I said, this is just a theory. It's not totally confirmed, the entire thing. So the visit of this, of course, it is included. As you see, there is a lot of people around, but here's a detail, a much closer detail in how the lions, they were carved in marble. And you can see new plaques of marble that they were totally destroyed, but the one that with the stains in it, I mean, they are actually the originals ones. And well, the great thing is that finally, after all that complicated restoration, trying to find new materials, making new tests, etc., 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 they finally reopened to the public like about 8 or 10 years ago, and we all kind of admired the entire thing. So this is one of the UNESCO sites that Spain has. Just in case you're not aware of that, let me say that supposedly Spain, together with Italy, are countries in the whole world with the largest number of UNESCO sites, so they say. Anyway, so this is one of the places I was mentioning that I was going to focus on my tour of South Spain, which is called the Essence of Southern Spain. Okay, so we're going to move from here to Granada, from Granada to Sevilla. In some of the lectures that we did in the past, and maybe we can do some in the near future, I did explain the entire tour. Besides, as I said, the second place or second complex I want to focus right now is Cordoba, the famous Mosque-Cathedral. So before that, of course, we cannot leave Granada without tasting one of my favorite things in the whole world, which is Iberian ham. The gastronomy and the food in Granada is just unbelievable. It's incredible. Granada is tapas paradise for the foodies. Okay. All right. Let's focus now in Cordoba. This is from. I was very privileged have permission to go into a rooftop of a private block of apartments and go to the very top floor and take this panoramic photo, which is normally the photos that you see from Cordoba and the cathedral are from the other side of the river, which is at the steps of those mountains that you see in that slide. But I just love this new perspective to me because I never had the chance to see it from the north. This is overlooking towards the south. So this is what you see on the right-hand side. You can see the bell tower, which is the former minaret of the cathedral, and in the center it is the cathedral nave that is built in the middle of the mosque. Let me tell you that this originally, just before the Arabs invaded the Iberian Peninsula in the year 711, there was a Visigoth temple, and they built there a Christian temple, and possibly because they're making excavations now and again, possibly it was done over a what's the word I want to find? Paleo-Christian, Paleo-Christian temple. Okay, but what happened is that when the Arabs took over the Iberian Peninsula, they decided that that settlement that was called Cordoba. Cordoba is spelled as you can see on the photo. Cordoba, Arabic is Cortuba, Cordoba. Okay, so that's how they name it, and it was declared the capital of Al-Andalus. You're gonna say, what I mean, Andalusia, Andalus? You're right. It's a distortion of Andalus. Al is like a prefix in Arabic that means beyond. In north of Africa, there is a range of mountains and a province called Andalus. So whatever Arabic territory was beyond that territory in Africa, it was Al-Andalus. That was the name. It was today known as Spain. It was the name in Arabic about Spain. And when they went over here, by all means, they tore down the Christian temple and started from scratch using materials from other temples in the area. I have to mention that also Cordoba has a Roman temple. Don't forget that the Roman Empire, it was a very, very powerful empire, at the time, and most of the Iberian Peninsula was also overtaken by them. So it's also a Roman temple in the city. But anyway, to make all this spacious area, just let me show you, before I continue, from the same viewpoint. I was, lucky enough to have access as well at night, just to take the photo from the same angle, exactly the same angle. All right. So as I was saying, they had to make this mosque spacious. Why? Well, it has several, let's say, enlargements. It depends on the emir caliphate that it was ruling at the time in the area. But at the very beginning, there were 11 naves, and it was extending little by little, up to the point that in the peak of that extension, the city of Cordoba, and we're talking about the 11th century approximately, reached 500,000 inhabitants. And that is quite a lot when you think it was the largest and most populated city in continental Europe. So that is a mix of cultures. They were the Arabs, they were the Christians, and they were also the Jews as well. So that's why Cordoba is one of those cities in Spain that they are known as the cities of the three cultures. Okay, so the following emir expanded the mosque in the same architectural style. I'll let you know in a little bit the architectural style. You can see in that photo that I am there, just showing the people a little bit about the river. That is a map of the Iberian Peninsula. Portugal, our neighbor friends, are on the left-hand side, not the entire left, but most of it. And the south of Spain, I would say Andalusia has the size of the state of Maine. So, we are in Cordoba, which is almost in the north central part of Andalusia, just below the range of mountains that naturally separates the region from the rest of the country. But in the year 1236, King Ferdinand III of Castile conquered the city, but he respected the monument and also he Christianized it. Finally, in the in the 16th century, it was when part of the central nave was destroyed to build the Gothic cathedral that stands there today. So I would like to show you the minaret, the former minaret, that now it is the bell tower. They added like about a couple of floors just to make space to add the bells. Obviously, the minaret, if you can see my arrow here, I don't know, it's more or less, or if you don't see my arrows, let's say it's at the level of the flags that you see on the right-hand side of the flags. So those are the two floors that were added just in order to place the bells. The minaret, you know, they have no bells and they have to be someone at the top just calling the population 5 times a day to pray. Now, this is what I meant about the architectonical style. Look, just to make it spacious, because at the very beginning it was only 11 naves, 11 rows, okay, of columns. And it was enlarged and enlarged and enlarged and enlarged just to have enough space for all people that wanted to go and pray. Imagine a city of 500,000 inhabitants, you know. Anyway, they had to find a volume, not to place people one on top of the other, but just to give the impression of power and impression of exquisity in the construction. So what they made was a double arch. The lower one is a horseshoe shape, and the one in the top is just a semicircle. So here is a little example of some of them. Now here you can see clearly the lower arch and the upper arch on top of that, but this is just the edge of the central nave, where in the previous slide I showed you is where it was demolished just to build the Gothic cathedral. And right in the corner is where the organ is located. So here I am, but not because of me, only because there is some more arches. I had to tell you guys, it doesn't matter where you look at in this monument. I don't even know if I had to call it a monument or a magnificent site. It's unique in the world, okay? Wherever you look at, you're gonna see the columns aligned with the same horseshoe shapes and the upper arches everywhere. Here I am. Some of my tour members just took that photo of me, which I like, you know, in a way, because it shows that a little bit, I see myself just showing my passion, just explaining things that I want to share, like if it was part of a family, of a group of friends, just explaining everything that I know about the sites. And well, just regarding that, I just want to take the big opportunity here to mention that for next year, there is a tour of me in Catalonia, and those are the dates: November the 7th until the 16th. By the way, as Rainer mentioned earlier, it is true there is still a couple of seats available in this Essence of Southern Spain tour. And well, if you just want to join, that will be really perfect. But we will keep you posted in everything that is regarding not only my tours, but guided by as well. So just as a farewell paragraph here, I just want to make a virtual toast with all of you here. This is just water. I wish it was wine, but I can't because I'm taking my medicines. And well, it's just to say thank you to everybody. And look, just happy travels, and I hope to see you on the road sometime. Okay? Thank you, guys.